Okay, so when Forrest died and Big Jerry died, I moved to Texas with my kids because I was like, there's too much going on out here. But I came back in 2010, and it's exactly what you said. I kept asking everybody, like, why aren't you guys over here? Because I thought it looked beautiful. I was like, oh, the community looks nice. We got urban renewal. Living in Texas, there's urban renewal everywhere in the black community. But it's black-owned urban renewal. It's CDC urban renewal. It's Economic Development Corporation urban renewal. It's the churches banding together with the community and acquiring property and developing property and estate planning, not selling, but estate planning and developing with what you own. And I didn't see that at home, so I was like, okay, well, I just worked for a CPA for about 15 years. I know something about finance and business development. Why don't we just go ahead and talk to the community about doing that? But we have too many holds on our community partnerships. Like, we have to be obligated to an allegiance outside of our necessity, because we're hoping that the allegiance is going to give us power, but the real power is in us together. When people see that you got the people, that's what everybody run into the state capitol with. When we went and shut them down last year as protesters, it was like, thank you for coming. We've been waiting to see new faces out here. We need to hear from you guys, because the communities are selling the people out, and if you guys come as a community, we'll know what you need. Because they think we're coming out there to beat them up because everything's bad. And they say, we're giving you what's been asked for. You're not asking for what you need. Come talk to us. Don't tell nobody what you need. Come talk to us. We'll give it. We'll write it. We'll do it. We work for you. You hired us. You elected us. That's our job. If they're not listening there, if you had a problem there, come to Salem. Legislative session start Monday. You know what I'm saying? We need to sit up there and create a system where we're going through a community. We don't have to wait for somebody to say this is legislative day. We can sit up there and say, what's all on the legislative session this year? Well, we're going to have a community meeting about these different things because they concern us too, and let's figure out how they concern us. And just like how she got the stream now, if you're not there, you check out the stream, get a YouTube channel for this organization right here. We get everybody in on it. We start tagging each other and being together. It don't have to be nothing heavy. We know we got problems. We dysfunctional. We don't like each other. We're going to have to figure it out because we ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we ain't going nowhere, our kids ain't going nowhere, and we steady going to funerals to see each other, there's a problem. And we know that.
What you just said about, that's what our kids need to see.
They love
need
us.
to
They
see
want to
us
see us together.
talking to each other and trying to figure out, instead of sort of this warped sense of entitlement that something happened and we got to wait through what they say downtown before we respond. They need to know that mom and dad was talking about that. I went to that meeting the other day and that's what they were talking about there. And that we're not waiting for anybody's permission to address the issues. You know, having the opportunity to work for the Eisenhower Foundation and fund all over the country. I've been in, you know, big multi-dimensional programs in communities and very small grassroots ones. But the bottom line is that it starts with us coming together and getting in each other's face and being okay with disagreements. It's okay to disagree.
It really is. It really is. I used to attend the neighborhood the community little neighborhood meetings for each, like Humboldt Community Board meeting. I used to attend the neighborhood association meeting. There you have police. Sometimes you have an official, you know, and issues. Because see, me working for affordable housing, I had scattered sites. And so I had to know what was happening around each site. Also, I can have, you know, I had a word too. And from that, that's why I said I worked with Antoinette Edwards, and we did with the Sun School, and we went into these transitional high school because our kids were feeling kind of left out in the cold, and they're not knowing their rights, being harassed, all this. So we went, and we went to, like, say, it was POIC, McCoy Academy. That was my school, you know. I brought them together with the police because they need to know they are our future leaders, and they actually had more power than what they understood that they had. So that's the thing of it is, and the other part to that is that, you know, I wanted to know, they need to know their responsibility, not only their responsibility, their rights, and how to achieve it without reacting. Because one thing our kids, and they don't know really that they react instead of think. And that's the part where we want to get them to think first. Because, see, if you think this out and you got a process, because see, there's nothing I've never been able to achieve once I sit out and I take my time and I sit down and I think, I go for it.
Yeah, that's right. You know better, you do better, because you got confidence. You don't have to worry.
Well, it's sort of like state clean. It's like when I came back to town and they had what was then called the State of Equity Report. That
Oh,
really
right.
talked about all of these glaring disparities around behavioral health and mental health and treatment services around African Americans.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, wait a minute. We know how to do this stuff, given the opportunity. We did Stay Clean.
Exactly.
Stay Clean had more people,
Yes.
African Americans, that have stayed clean successfully for stretches of time, more African Americans working in the industry that came through Stay Clean.
I
And
know,
thought,
but they couldn't get the credentials, so.
there you go.
Because I
That's the
remember
point
I was
was-
fighting out in Salem and
Yeah.
fighting everywhere else, because I
Yeah.
was like, wait, we got brothers in our community that went through the system, that went through the life, that got credential, got masters and letters and numbers behind their name, and can't get a referral for services that we need.
And
And the
now,
brothers I know that's going through the services is getting tripped out to the point where they want to go back to jail because it's not cool.
well, see, now
Man,
we've got the
that's too
capacity.
inhumane.
It's so great. We
inhumane.
got so many African Americans that are, CDACs, LCSWs that are,
Amazing.
got it. So
Like Stevie
we can do
Hawkins.
this stuff, but
Yeah.
but for people to know, no need to be afraid. We don't need to look for someone else
That's
or
our bring it
someplace
back
else.
to community.
We can do it.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what State Clean is recovery supports. And when I say recovery, that's recovery from violence, recovery from drugs and alcohol,
Look at this
recovery
American
from
trauma
whatever.
drama. Okay, recovery from that, because that's
Yeah.
a real thing, as we're hearing now, our president's saying it and everybody else, and we ain't crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
American trauma drama that we're dealing with. We gotta
American
recover
trauma.
from that,
Yeah.
but we gotta recover together, because we gonna lose it. And if we got this much power right now, and I mean black power, black love, black unity, right now in the world,
Right.
with Mizzou and everybody else, they made a man walk off campus with a resignation letter, some young black children, our babies. They say, you know what, we're gonna stop eating, because y'all disrespecting us. You're indecent. You treating us like slaves. Do you know that we know our history? Do you know that in 18-something on this land right here, y'all did this? They was like, shut up. They was like, no, they kept on reading one by one, one by one. That president of that and the chancellor said, we got racial issues here and we can't fix them. You gotta fix them. We gotta give you the power. Put a black man there. What happened? Interim. Black. We'll deal with this. Thank you. Give
That's
us
what we
ours.
need to deal with this issue that's
We
in our
got the
community.
issues here. We got black student unions that within our school systems that won't come together with issues that deal with them as a people, because they're afraid, because they have upper heads in their school systems that are telling them, no, just go ahead for your, law students, brilliant law students that's like, we want to join the National Lawyers Guild so that we can become, legal onlookers and stuff, so that we can be in attorney cases and be able to be advocates. They're telling them don't do it. But all the white students are learning about it, getting super credentialed, and it becoming real connected in networks where they're going to be the ones dealing with black people in the legal industry. And we got black, brilliant law students that want to be able to do that.
I just believe we have to
We have to
the
change that
opportunity
paradigm.
for kids to see us taking care of our business,
Yeah.
taking care of our
So
community.
it'd be a period.
I heard a brother last night from, I think he was out of New York, and he was talking about, this whole peer movement, life experience, working with somebody who has had that same experience as you have had. And they're doing that with these peers nowadays and these life coaches. He said, well, in the African American community, what we need moral mentors. We need character coaches. We need to get back to setting some standards about how we conduct and live in our communities. And kids need to see us do that. See us
That
make
happened
those
from being
kind
an
of moves.
interaction. You sit up there and spend the day, let's say you get a big screen in here and you showing the Super Bowl or something with a whole bunch of young men that probably ain't never went to a Super Bowl party before, and you see how they acting now, not being heavy with them or telling them what to do, but just notice some things, and as the adult in the room, you taking note to it, and you get to come back to them afterwards and talk to them. You know what I'm saying? So that they get to be on their level with things, because we're so far gone now to where we can't be over them and bringing them down even lower so that they can stand up. We got to bring ourselves. We have to humble ourselves. We know that they went through trauma, that they're the children that are coming from a traumatic time that we just went through, and that there's going to be some extra handling with them. I've had to deal with that within my own family, and then watch the nephew go and get killed right after the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because we already lost hold. It ain't no problem that they have. It's a problem we have. We got to come to terms with that. It ain't they ain't got manners. We don't have the manners. Our society as a whole, when your generation talks, you talk about how you couldn't get in trouble up the street because by the time you got down the block, somebody and everybody else done whooped your ass.
That's right,
That's
that's right.
You find out that stuff. In our community, they be like, "Ooh, I don't want to see that. Look at this boy with his pants," and won't say nothing to him. When I first came home and somebody would tell me, "Look at them guys out there with their pants down," I'll be like, "Won't you say nothing to him?" And I'll run outside because I was country, coming back from Texas. I'll be like, "Boy, pull your pants up," and they'd be like, and pull them up and be kind of happy that somebody cared enough to say, "Pull your pants up," give you a smile too, and be like, "Somebody noticed my pants was down. I just want somebody to say something." You never know. You know, you never know. So we got to be mindful of that too, that our children are dealing with the same trauma we going through. And I remember when I was in high school, I used to tell my mom all the time, you don't know what's going on, that was back in the day. You don't know what's going on, that's back in the day. We got the opportunity to know what's going on because it was back in the day. So we can kind of be a little bit more mindful with dealing with when we understand that what's back in the day shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know that y'all is the product of that. That is extremely true.
It's funny because I was thinking about his mom. So they lived on 10th. We lived on 9th. His mom was just a little bit later, but that lady did not play. She did not play. No, she didn't. She did not. I remember it was like, I don't know what, she had a sister named Gracie, and we was around there, and we got told off major, and almost got touched. And you know, but you know, because that was part of being raised from the folk, you know, from everybody.
Can I say something about that though? I think the reason that we don't have that anymore is because of gentrification. You know, because we're being shuffled around, we're being shaken and shuffled around from one place to another, and it's very difficult to know the kids and your neighbors when there's another neighbor and then there's another neighbor.
I think when kids don't have any place to go.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Kids don't have any, our like, you know, like they have the House of Emotion. We are our Brothers and Sisters Keepers group. A friend of mine's ever that's passed, okay? We did that with youth games, okay? So they don't have any place to let it off at, okay? You know, because like my kids that I worked with, you know, I can see them, and I was looking at one on Facebook yesterday where she's married, she got her kids, and she works at bought them home, all that. Thank you, Miss D. Because had you been there, and you know, and I still think because see what I learned from how we were raised, you know, I mean, and to give it to our kids in our community, that's where they got left off. But then when they were sent out and dropped off, like we were nothing. So we have to make them realize and come back and say, hey, you are something, and I have an interest in you because an added investment of my personal stuff and my experiences, you know, because we're going to take us the sky's the limit, and they don't know that now. So it's up to us to let them know the sky's the limit.
It is.
I think we are so resilient that we'll figure it out.
We will.
But I know that it all starts with us coming together. We need to be together.
It feels good just being together now.
Siloed and we just naturally do that. I don't know why we have that ability to do it, but we got it. You know, and again, you know, our whole existence here is it's like if what came out of this, you decided you wanted to do a gender specific group with women around, there's rooms over there to do that. We got a bank, we have a system where we've got 24 laptops that charge together, and if you all wanted to get together and do it's there, you know. And we just want this to be a facility that is ours, to do what we want to do. Anything that needs to be scheduled, you give Fred a call. Hey, Fred, I'm getting ready to have so-and-so group. Could you book me a room over at, you know, over here at such and such time, such and such date? Do you want the big room or a little room? And for community. You know, and that's not tied to anybody's administration or if you voted for this person. That's just us. And I don't have to always agree with you. You don't have to always agree with me. You know, you remember my mama? She was where she was at, whether you liked it or not.
Ever since I started this coalition and then trying to reach the people and get the people to come, I just want to put the question out, what is the problem with us black people gathering together?
I told you, Laurie, it's a
together?
safe space. It's having a safe space. That's why I said this is a blessing, because you don't have a safe space. When we would go to different places to organize for the things that we were doing, which was extremely legislative, we were pushing for that stop profiling bill, and we needed to organize and study the language. We needed to give the legislators at the work group committees the language we thought was going to be useful to help our community, because we didn't want it to be one-sided for people that, you know, is from communities of color, but not the black community. You know, we wanted to make sure that our voice was strong in that language as well. So getting together with stuff like that and then dealing with the school to prison pipeline and all that, just finding spaces that's supposed to be for us, it was hard to get in there. It was resistance. And even when we became members of the organizations, it was still like, what y'all doing in there? And it's like, man, this is called democracy. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Read your history. Because my grandpa Joe Payton sat up there in the Urban League for 30 years and did, you know, aging and senior disability services, and that program is still going. He put programs together in the penitentiary and out there at Snake River and everything else. So I'm his grandchild. Guess what I'm in here doing?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Guess what I'm doing? I'm developing programs for my community. I ain't an employee, but that's better for you because guess what? You're going to reap the benefits of what I'm putting out there because I don't owe no favors.
They said if
You
the
know?
fruit don't fall too far from the tree.
Not when you raised up in it and you know what's necessary. You get to see it for life experience and get to a point to give back.
But I think that's some of it. I think that, again, folks feeling safe, knowing that they really do have. I mean, you can really call Fred and say, Fred, what's a day you have available that I can, you know, get a room for an hour or something? And there's no cost. There's no cost, and it's not tied to what political persuasion you are. And to talk about some real issues, you know, some real issues, you know. So.
Well, going forward, I mean, what I really want to do is build the coalition.
Well, let's start with an open night. Do an open night where you can bring people in, you can have an agenda, and you can bring people in to see the facility. You do a walkthrough and start coming up with some quick ideas. Say, you know what, think on your agenda, say, I want to come and have people come in and just talk about their trauma or something and what we think can happen. Make that a community discussion and then walk through here and say, okay, we got the computer room. I want to have a day where we talk about things and we're all online looking up the information and then discussing what we find. Because if education is a tool that we need, let's figure out how to educate each other in ways that we feel comfortable. It don't have to be something that somebody already put together. I'm cool with a Google. You know, you say that to me,
people
and I
want to work
Google
like
it.
that. People, I think
They
that
want to go
people-
outside the box
That's
so
right.
we
They
can talk
wanna do
plainly
something.
to each other and get where we're trying to go with it. No, I don't want you talking over me.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think the days of when you just
Let
pull
me
people
understand
together
what the
and
you
just
talking
talk
about
to
so I
them.
can say it and I know you
Them
know
days
what
are
I'm
gone.
saying.
People want
I
to get
just wanna-
involved, they want to do something, they want to be part of the planning, part of the strategy. Them days of just calling people together and have them sit there and give them a donut. and
Meeting
talk
after
to 'em.
meeting
Yeah.
I
around
said,
your
let's pull this up right now. In today's agenda, this is what we're going to go in the computer room, and everybody going to sit down, and these are the words we're going to pull up. Let's pull them up. Let's go back in here and discuss what we
There you
found.
go. There you go.
Because when I was volunteering to help with those children that's incarcerated, half of them didn't know that the laws that they was breaking was even laws. You know, they don't understand the justice system at all.
We need to start right
They
there
don't
too.
understand that stuff at all. They don't
Exactly.
understand the
We need to
process of
start
getting
with
their names
that
off that
training.
dang list or none of that stuff. They don't understand the process
Know
of
your
trying to
rights
go
trainings. We
forward.
need to start
And they
with
get
that.
intimidated when they gotta work with people that's a part of the system, they get intimidated. If community could be the ones that they go to for those services, that reduces the intimidation. And guess what? They're gonna have a lot more dignity, which means they're gonna get done with their stuff. Cause you get dignity when you're dealing with somebody that respects you. You don't get dignity when they got authority over you.
So
You
maybe
know?
it starts with sending something out to pull first just a small group together to strategize around how you do the damn thing.
Amen.
How you do what you want to do, what does you want to do. But bring a smaller group like this where, because if that group is too big, then, I mean, I'm just finishing up, we had a contract to pull together what's called the African American Behavioral Health and Addiction Treatment, the Addiction Services Coalition. And this is, what, 214 African American practitioners, psychiatrists, treatment, doctors. And it was a small, you know, I researched, well, how do you pull a coalition together? Well, you start with a small group that has skin in the game. They come together and sort of put together a strategy, and you go from there.
I have that, yeah.
So maybe that's a way to start. But the big thing is that you got space. You got a space and the things you need, and you know, we got computers and paper and
I think
Wi-Fi.
I think awareness is really a big thing. So maybe creating a brochure
Bring awareness.
to pass out so people can get more of a background of what you guys are really doing, what you guys are about. The awareness is everything. And so just like how with the African American Behavioral Health Coalition, we had awareness out there. We created things where people can read documents to get an awareness. You know, a lot of times people don't know. I didn't even know about your organization until, you know, we started networking with you. And so awareness is so big, you know, and a lot of times with our people, we tend to be in social media. So that's how we can get more awareness out.
Because I think with that social media and a physical facility, man, that's action, man. It really is. That you can call people to action. When we were looking for a place, we thought, okay, we wanted to, one, it has to be out in numbers. Two, it has to have a parking lot. I can't make it hard for you to get to it. So, you know, we got the parking lot. There's no restricted parking out there, time zone. So you can just pack in here, you know, and it had to have space, big space, little room, and offices upstairs. It had, with that,
You got it.
we got the opportunity.
Yeah.
We got the opportunity.
And we got the networks. I think in our social media combined, we got access to over 2.5 million people.
Yeah.
So we tweet out pictures and that it be news.
Yeah.
I'm serious. We don't even sit up there and do interviews no more and be in the news every single day. Anything we say on Facebook or Twitter, they be like, oh, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go again, another Google alert. What didn't happen today?
That was deep. When I saw that and all the stuff behind it, I was like, whoa. I mean,
You've been doing great work, a lot of work.
But I've been doing it for the community. I had started that when my nephew died. I was like, well, we got everything we need here, and I thought I could just run back to Texas because I was just home visiting. And I saw that the community wasn't talking, so I started a group called 40 Days Seeking Community, and I was like, well, if I put everybody that's on Facebook in the same page and promote what they're doing, then everybody's gonna know what each other's doing.
Right.
And so everybody started knowing what each other was doing, and they started using Facebook, and this is 2010. And so I just kept amping it up. Every time I knew we needed something, I put a group page together, put an event together, tag people on pictures, whatever it took. When Yashani got, missing, I sat up there and Shakita was like, yeah, they ignored me. I was like, psh. Took that baby's picture, put it up there, tagged in about 100 people, shared it all on all kinds of networks. Next thing you know, Nancy Grace and everybody else was like, what's going on? Where the little baby at? And Portland was like, okay, look, we got it. It was like, wait a minute, what's going on? But living in Texas for 15 years, we had clients in 222 countries. And that's over 2,500 clients. So anything I did on Facebook, social media, it's going out to the globe. It ain't just here in Portland. And so that's why I said we have a lot of power as a people because it's all of us together. Nobody out here came in and said, hey, I'm going to do this in Portland. This is everybody came back and said, hey, we're going to do this. And now, boom, we close together and we got combined power. So we have to do something substantial with it because it's time. Our community needs it. We've all been doing it for community. All the stuff that I've done, whether they like me or not, a lot of times you stay away from the people you love while you're working for them because you don't want them to be hindered by the work that you're doing. And what I come to realize just this past week when they said, Miss Rayford, we accidentally, illegally, and we didn't mean to, did a criminal investigation on you while you was protesting. I said, excuse me? Read the Constitution, because that's kind of, it's very illegal, and we don't even know what to do about it, because the Department of Justice, what, y'all did that? I've been asking y'all to help us get stuff going on with the police. You telling me y'all investigating? Well, we don't know how it, and we just did the thing. I said, oh, you fucked up. So that's why we don't get together, because y'all investigate black people when we come together. Are you out of line or what? Okay, so how many people? Oh, all of us. Okay, well, cool. Check this out. I'm going to talk to you Monday.
You know when that check this out.
You know what I'm saying?
Check this out.
Let the lawyers deal with it and let the news talk to the lawyers and everything else. But that's power for our people.
But
the whole point that I've been making since I came back home and hooked my loss and then continue taking losses, I can't tell you how many family members have died since I've been back home fighting. It's all because we're not together. And all the communication that we try to do is shut down on every level. Political free speech criminalized in Oregon for racial. The civil rights director is a black man. His wife is the president of the Urban League. They researched and investigated that brother.
Really?
He's the director
That's-
of the Civil Rights Division of the Oregon Department of Justice.
Lou Fredericks
and they-
gave me that. Yeah, I think
And
Lou
he
told me.
is the executive with Ellen, and they investigated him. They didn't investigate none of the other employees, just the black man with the dreads. That's the Civil Rights Director.
That's what I'm working with.
That's a big thing. We gotta sue America.
Yeah. But it's,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? America violated America law, amendments.
we are a threat together, you know, because
Well,
as
now
long
they-
as we are kept apart, we cannot, you know, and we can't grow. And
But
if
that's
they,
why
if
we
with
get
that,
kept
we do
apart.
that and we come together, there's no stopping.
No.
And then,
why
and
we
because see, right
together.
now, they have us in, like, not
But
that
look at what
they
they
have us,
did.
we have
But
us.
look what
Uh-huh.
they
Okay,
did. Look
because
what they
we
did.
we haven't taken the initiative or applied ourselves to get the rest of our people and community together,
No, sis,
you know.
We
so-
have, we
we
get
have-
killed for it. We get killed for it. We get demonized for it. And we get criminalized for it. And they just expose themselves publicly to the world,
Mhm.
right here on Portland.
See, but the things
They've
that
been criminalizing us getting together. Listen to what I'm telling you. Us getting together like we doing has been criminalized. It has been demonized. It has got Negroes killed. They just showed in America, in Oregon, that the reason behind that, the reason we don't get together is because they will investigate your ass.
Yeah,
They just investigated a man that ain't never did a crime ever. That's a big old attorney in the Department of Justice. He's the Civil Rights Director. If they investigated him, that's what they've been doing. We all been saying that. Malcolm and King and them was saying it. They was like, we getting investigated by the CIA and the FBI killing them. That's what happened when we come together. It ain't us not wanting to be together. It's a dangerous situation to come together.
And it is, but
They
it's,
broke American legal, they never did this before. They never done this before, ever.
I know I saw that.
And I catch buses. Wait, what did I do? I asked for accountability investigations. And you're gonna try to criminalize me, and in the process, you so sloppy with your, that you done tried to
I saw it.
It's a funny situation. The
It
lawyers,
was deep. I was
no,
out
bro,
there
I'm
and I've
telling
been,
the
I was
lawyers
looking
said-
up your site, because when I saw it, sweetheart, you know,
It's
and
all
it grabbed me, I'm thinking like,
well,
well, let me check her page out. It was really going on. You know, I did, because I mean, it was on the news.
Yes,
It was on the news.
My
Yeah.
dad-
Yeah, I heard
And,
about
I was out there,
Lou
I'm like,
Fredericks,
I looked your page up, you know, and it's, and to be sitting in the face, I'm like, well,
Well, they're expecting
Okay,
us to sit
but
down
you're
as a
gonna deep, so
community.
you
We
know-
take
Now
a
we gonna-
community
but-
though.
they fear you, baby.
They have to, because I speak
I was
out
on
on
a protest
the
with
street.
her.
Hearing you tonight,
I have never ever seen the police do this.
and you
They pulled
That's
up
because
on
I
each
love
other
my family, I
cameras
love my community,
and
I'm from
videotaping us. I'm like,
I'm a
oh,
hard
they taking
scholar,
pictures of that.
I'm Tyleen Payton,
No, and they
you know what I'm
didn't do
saying?
that.
I'm
They took
been
pictures of
here.
all
You
of us
know,
on
you
license
don't
plates,
look
everything.
in my space.
And then the other night, they
Please,
busted
you
into a
wasn't
house
raised
down
to
by my house.
Please.
And so the man, he was dressed in all this
It's
army
beautiful,
fatigue.
they
So I
show
said,
themselves.
he said, how you doing?
I'm like, wow, you done made,
He said, you don't know who
That's
I
how
am? He
beautiful
said,
it is.
listen to my voice. We're trying to
this
get
is
him. Trying to
it,
get
this
him. I
is
said,
what
who are you?
I'm
He said,
betting
you
for.
know
I'm
my
kinda like the
name.
kid
I don't
coming home
understand
for
what
the
you're saying to
soul
me.
food, you know that movie.
He said, I'm the
Soul Food,
detective
how
on your
the warrior
son's
been trying to get
case.
the
I
family
said,
to come back
whoa, you
together
was
and he's
SWAT.
like,
And when he
we're gonna
walked
do
off, guess what he
big old
said?
dinner. Everybody
He
gonna
said,
come
you
back to Big
nice
Mama's
that
house, and then Big
Yes.
Mama, I've been
And they
like that, like, what's
cool.
going on, how we gonna get everybody?
Oh, you know we're gonna be on a march tomorrow?
Your stuff,
Yeah.
but good.
They
Big
watching
Mama
me.
want us to be together so we can be cool. And we can go
I
back
said,
to our
are
stuff,
you
but we need
serious?
to
I'm a
do
mother. My
it.
son got shot and I'm standing up for the community, but you watching me. You know, my is what it's told me.
Because this is something that, like, we
This is
went through,
community.
like, in the 90s.
Let me say this.
early 2000s.
So, call Fred
Okay, call Fred.
and get you a date.
I'm scared.
Get you a
I
date.
will.
I would say,
We'll do it twice. We don't have to do it every
I'm
week.
ready, 'cause this-
But I'm gonna put together something. What I want next week that I do is I wanna bring some of the people, the grassroots people together.
But
This
everybody
here
else
is
is
right
right
here.
here.
And just, come on.
This was such short notice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't think that many people would show up anyway, and I did it by Facebook. But now, what I'm gonna do is just personally get out there by email and invite them out, and then set up time with Fred to meet us here and have this discussion
You know,
again,
look,
with
they
people
can
that's
come
on the
here after
forefront.
school and do
And
their
how
little
can we,
meetings
you know,
and
work
stuff.
together?
and one thing,
They've been
it's
looking
not
for
something
space
like
to do
this.
stuff, and I'll be
I
able to, I'm
want-
like, well, hold on, let me
Not
bully
necessarily
up on
be
something
autonomous,
for
but
you, you know?
what you're
But it-
doing,
you
do
know,
it. Do
oh,
it.
yeah.
They
enjoy
don't,
it.
they don't always
where you-
act
where you
real
need us.
cool at all the
Yeah, but I was trying to also include.
Yeah, you did a good job of that.
Yeah,
You did a
I
good job
wanted
of
to
that.
make sure that you're in the books here,
Yeah.
so
You know,
they know who you are.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you just come out. You
Because
invite me
I
and
say
you
what
know.
I'm saying, because I want
Get the community going.
what you
Oh,
get,
see,
your your due.
We can have
Yeah.
Your
multiple
due.
spaces. I think the
And
next
this is
time we
just
come
the
together, we
facility.
need to bring in a map,
Carol's
like
gonna
a
be talking
calendar,
to you. I
and
said
just grab
to
some
her
dates on the calendar
for
and say, when are, over the next 12 months, let's get
And it's
together.
Carol.
Twice a month.
Carol Bridge is my friend in Atlanta.
Let's put it
Got
together.
all
Oh,
the degrees and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I told her about you.
When's our
I've
next
never-
meeting? What's
She wants to
tonight?
talk to you, and she gonna be like great. So
I'm
we're
with
gonna
it,
try
I'm
to, did you
serious.
guys ever
It's
get your
hard when you
501c3?
do it by yourself.
We can use
and you
Larry's.
do it yourself.
And
And I
I
know
know
how
about
it
it yet.
is. If they see us
Well,
all
we can use
together, they'll
Larry's.
start calling.
Okay, so we're trying to write for that money, and try to do something here. So, she gonna be talking to you.
Okay,
And I
ladies.
thank you, honey. And so what I'm gonna do with this food stuff, I'm gonna leave this here for our other meetings, and Fred's gonna store it. And then, ladies, you guys are welcome to take whatever you want, you know. This is just how I get down. I don't come to no meeting without no food, and, this is how I'm gonna set it up. With my own little money, I use my bill money.
Well, that's why I said sustainability comes from
Yeah,
fiscal
but we need to
partners,
start
'cause
getting
we
together,
do enough
talking.
work to where they could talk about, what are you guys doing, and start getting in stuff. so
Yeah,
that we
giving
can
us
do
some
it
funding and
and get
stuff.
paid for it, because people
wanna do
laughing at
something
me, because
upstairs?
you know, no, that's taking away pay. I was like, people gonna pay you to knock down
We
the
pulled up
doors.
before, this has people.
I gotta
on
knock the
places.
doors down first. I
Hey,
don't like people, I ain't
come
coming.
get you a plate.
It'll come some serious food. I done survived.
Where's
all the
Jesse?
time I'm talking about. I'm happy. I ain't gonna die.
She is.
No,
Cooking dinner.
You gonna come out here
Different
now
people.
again?
Oh, we got
That
it
makes
going.
sense?
We doing good. This is beautiful.
That was awesome. That was very awesome. I'm looking forward to more meetings.
You wanna be over here? Oh, yeah, okay.
we probably got something. Wow.
Last time I saw you, I was going to that debate, that forum over there at Maranatha, when I was running for office.
Yeah, well, I thought you
Hey,
were
let's go on
welcome
the
to
plate.
when you
Show 'em the
testify.
paper.
Oh, yeah, in the Rose Room.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I can follow that.
We're gonna give you a tour.
Yay,
Last
awesome.
night
At
they
the
got,
Fred,
they had something.
Okay, you give the
national
tour, Laurie.
in DC.
I
Around
don't
that
know.
same mission. And they
Oh,
were
you
talking
don't?
about how they don't
Can you give them a tour?
Yeah, sure. How many people get shot, how many people get killed, and
But here they.
You gonna film it?
I'm filming right
That's
now.
what we're trying to
Yeah,
make
put
it
it on
do,
the wire.
because that's why they made it sound like people are dangerous. They, people are so
People
dangerous. Well,
have
if
to
you
clean
look
up.
at the numbers, they're really not.
Yeah.
Because the 21 of y'all is getting shot in 10 years, and you done shot over 30,000 people in that same
Girl.
amount of time. You the dangerous one. Especially if 89% of them is unarmed.
Woo, shoot, honey,
You're the one.
Yes. You gonna give them a tour, Johnny? Or Fred is gonna do it?
Hey, you too.
That's 9 o'clock tomorrow, man.
I will be there.
Oh, tomorrow, I gotta be there tomorrow at 9 too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, nice meeting you.
I had this little thing, huh?
Give a double take. Is
I had
this-
this
is this
thing right here.
Lorraine's mom?
Huh?
Is this Lorraine?
I'll be seeing you
Did Lorraine's
tomorrow.
mom come?
Oh, no, she didn't come. Something going on with her phone.
No, she said she was, meeting with the detectives to solve her son's.
Let's take a tour, Teresa.
Yeah.
She said right now she meeting with him.
Where's she at?
This is getting ridiculous.
Go ahead, they gonna give you a tour.
Okay.
I already seen the place. Fred gonna give you a tour. She gonna film it.
Don't
Check this out.
you want to talk about it on phone?
No, they gonna tell me. Fred,
Go ahead, John.
you gonna be
Like doing your thing.
Well, okay, this is, when we got here, we really had the opportunity to sort of build it out the way we wanted to, because we were gonna rent it at first, and we were gonna buy it, and went back and forth, so it's our place. This was one big room. And then we decided, well, why don't we split it up there? That way we have more opportunity for, gender-specific groups, meeting, trainings that will happen in here. We put a door here so you had access. On a daily basis, one of the contracts that we have, we're just now putting big flat screens up against, on all the walls. This is where
Oh, wow.
peer services, peers will come in here every day. If you got a kid, we have a lady that's certified with childcare for the state of Oregon and with USDA, so she can serve food to them. You would come in here in the morning if you need to. I got about 24 computers there.
Oh,
You can
wow.
check out a computer, go online, look for resources, get on the internet, anything that you need to do. And again, around recovery support, we want to go to 3 meetings a day, but right now we don't have any eye-opening meetings, but we have, at 5 days a week, we have a new NA meeting. On Fridays, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m., we have an NA meeting. Then Wednesdays we have a women's specific,
Nice.
women's specific meeting. So the building doesn't have an elevator, so with ADA, American with Disabilities Act, all of our services have to happen downstairs here.
Okay.
But it also gave us the opportunity, and this is sort of the nonprofit state claim. About 3 years ago, we started Aspire Inc., which is a consulting firm that my brother and I are both partners on. And so we were able to bring Aspire here. Again, this was just a bunch of cubicle roomy
So you turn
shit.
into some
And we tore
executive
all the
suites.
walls down, and you know, most of our room is done. Most of our work is done in conference rooms. So we put all that up, and this is where we're in most of the time. Yeah, this wall wasn't here, and we sort of built it up. We pride ourselves on the fact that every piece of sticker furniture you see here is either from the Goodwill or from a Craigslist free stuff.
Oh, shoot.
So-
Wow, this is
I need to get on
awesome.
Craigslist.
That's real nice.
Everything.
Yeah.
Back this way.
Wow.
And then Fred is sort of supports Johnny and I, so we don't have to worry about people, you know, your
Oh,
partner
coming
steadily
back.
coming in. That's my office. That's Johnny's office.
Right on.
With the peer contract that we have now, these offices now are all filled, but that one there, well, she'll be moving in probably next week. But we've got, you know, offices here. We're building this up some more to have a decent kitchen. This was a little funny, funky area. We tore down the office and gave them a common room so they don't have to use our conference room all the time. Got your files. Your files have to be down 2 locked doors. And we're still building. Now I gotta find free carpet. The last two things is to get the panels up here done and the and the carpet. Get some free carpet in here.
Yeah.
But that's
Black power.
Wow, this is really beautiful.
Thank you. And on a shoestring budget, when I say shoestring, I'm talking about no string budget. But it's
Got
ours.
that right?
Again, it's
Exactly.
ours. This is ours.
Amen.
You know, so-
Sometimes you have to be on a Velcro
Well, I was
budget.
gonna say, yeah, because I think that part of recovery services is family services and
Oh,
family
absolutely,
outreach. So all the stuff
absolutely.
we've been talking about is community family
So
outreach.
that's why we said Recovery Support Center. Just whatever associated with that. And there's so many tentacles to that. And when you got rooms, you come, Fred, you get your room that you meet whenever. And, you know, we try to keep at least something to eat on when you're here.
And can you tell me again what your name is?
My name is Johnny A. Gage. I stress the A because I have an identical twin brother with the same first name, and he's here with me.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
So it's Johnny A. and Johnny W. Gage.
Your mom's like, I'm going to be able to tell you, boy.
Low child rent. She just say, Johnny, get your.
Didn't have to worry too much.
Thank
Funny
you
you
very
said-
much.
It's funny that you say that. That picture from the paper with
Yes, ma'am.
with
I gotta
Shadow
go show
those
you some
guys,
cake.
the possum sitting there. Remember that picture
Mm-hmm.
in Washington D.C. That
I'm going to turn my stream off. Do you want to say anything?
Well, community, you were missing in action again, but we still met, and we're waiting for you to show up at the next meeting. I will be announcing it on Facebook. Hope you show up.